Okay guys, so here's another type of problem. Here's the question. I call this is a mixture problem. Okay, it says how many gallons of pure alcohol should be mixed with 20 gallons of a 15% alcohol solution to obtain a mixture that is 25% alcohol. So here's the situation. We're starting with 20 gallons of 15% alcohol, and we're going to add pure alcohol until alcohol makes up 25%. We don't know how many gallons that's going to be. That's what we kind of want to find out, how much pure alcohol. With this type of problem, just like with your motion problems, you know, the distance equals rate times time, it's helpful to make a table usually, okay? So I have this table here. Alcohol content, gallons of solution, gallons of pure alcohol, and I'm just going to start filling in what I know, okay? So I have a 15% alcohol content, that's what we started with. 100%, that's what we'll be adding, and we want to end up with the 25% alcohol, okay? Gallons of the solution, well, I start with 20 gallons of the 15%. This is what we want to know, how many gallons of the 100%. So I'm going to call that X. This is the big thing I want to know. And how many gallons of the 25% are we going to end up with? Well, that's going to be what we started with plus however much we add. So this is simply 20 plus X, or X plus 20, either way. Gallons of pure alcohol. Well, if you have a 15% alcohol content and you have 20 gallons of it, what percentage of it is pure alcohol? You just have to multiply these, right? So 15% as a decimal is 0.15 times 20. If you do that multiplication, that's 3 gallons are pure alcohol. 100%, that is a decimal is 1, that's 1 times X. So that's simply just X. And down here, if we follow the same trend, this is 0.25. Okay. And just like with these, we did 20 times X. We'll do it times 20 plus X. So here's my setup. And then we want to figure out, well, what can we use from this to try to solve for X? You know, we know that these gallons, 20 gallons plus X gallons is equal to 20 plus X. That's not telling us anything though. But the amount of pure alcohol in our starting amount plus the amount of alcohol in our second amount.
Just 1 minute. All on your schedule.
Okay. So the amount of alcohol in our first one plus the alcohol in our second one should equal the amount of alcohol in our third, our final one. Okay, so I'm going to use this column right here. Okay, so what we'll end up with is 3 plus X is equal to 0.25 times 20 plus X, right? The gallons of pure alcohol in our 15% plus what we add should equal the amount of gallons in our resulting concoction, I guess we could call it, okay? Now we know for decimal equations how to make this into, well, not a decimal. We have to multiply it by 100. We could do that. It's probably easier in this case to actually use a fraction, so that's what I'm going to do. You could do it like that. You could do it with the decimal, but I'm going to do it like so. Okay, so now I made it a fraction just because I think the math's a little easier. So how do I eliminate this denominator? We use our LCD of 4. Okay, so I'm going to multiply this side by 4. And I can do that as long as I multiply this side by 4. So we end up with 12 plus 4x equals 4 times 1/4, those cancel, 20 plus x. Get our x's on the same side, so I'll subtract x from both sides. Okay, so 12 plus 3x is equal to 20. Meaning that 3x is equal to 8. That's just subtracting 12 from both sides. Or x equals 8/3. That's how many gallons of pure alcohol we have to add. Okay? or 2 2/3 gallons. Okay. So either answer is fine. This answer is probably a little bit better depending on who you're showing this to. Okay.